Hi everyone, I'm Mike Jacoby from Point Grey, and I'm going to be talking about triggering modes. Now for those just starting to explore the functionality of machine vision cameras, it's useful to understand some triggering mode terminology. In this video, I'll go over 4 common triggering modes for machine vision cameras and give a little explanation for each one. Let's get started. The first trigger mode is called Standard Triggering Mode, also known as Frame Start in GenICam or Mode 0 in IIDC. In this mode, you set the desired exposure time, and by using either a hardware or software trigger, you initiate a one-frame acquisition. After exposure, data is read out and transferred, but the camera cannot be triggered again until after frame readout is complete. This means the camera exposure time must be minimized to maximize the frame rate. Overlap trigger mode, or trigger overlap in GenICam or mode 14 in IIDC, allows you to trigger while the previous image is still being sent to the PC. The exposure time is set on the camera, and the camera starts the exposure at the trigger signal. After exposure, data is read out and transferred. Now the camera can be triggered again, and the next exposure can start while the previous image is still being sent to the PC. This means you can trigger at full frame rate. The third trigger mode is called multi-shot, also known as Frame Burst Start in GenICam or Mode 15 in IIDC. It allows you to take a predefined number of frames, one after another, once the camera is triggered. The camera starts integrating on the trigger signal and takes a predetermined number of images. In this example, 3 images are taken one after the other. Now, if the camera supports overlap trigger mode, it will take the images in overlap mode. Otherwise, it will use standard triggering. So this means you may or may not be able to use this mode at the maximum frame rate. Finally, we have bulb trigger mode, or frame start trigger width in GenICam or mode 1 in IIDC. In this mode, the exposure will last as long as the trigger signal is active. The camera can't be triggered again until after data transfer, so it's usually not possible to use this trigger mode at full frame rate. Now, it's very important to know that the latency and exact timing of this entire triggering process, from when the trigger happens to when the data is sent to the PC, will be dependent on your components. Specifically, your trigger type, whether it's software or hardware, and the type of hardware trigger that's used, GPIO type, if you're using opto-isolated pins or not, camera and sensor type, and even the interface type. Also note that not all camera models support the same triggering modes either, so please refer to your camera manual to see which modes are supported. For Point Grey cameras, we list each model's triggering modes in our technical reference manuals, which can be downloaded from our website at www.ptgrey.com. That's all, please subscribe if you can, and thanks for watching.